Hello, everybody. Teresa Shaver here from the Business Advisory Center, Durham, and I'm so happy to welcome you all here to Do It in Durham. You may know this is our 12th year of celebrating Global Entrepreneurship Week, and I am the host for this session along with Samantha. So Samantha Léger from SJS Automotive is going to talk to you a little bit about how you can grow your service business, but also it's based on a little, her knowledge and experience of how she's gone through the entrepreneurship journey and how she's been able to grow her business.
Okay, so I'm just going to jump right into this. So our first slide is just an overall overview of the Do It in Durham week. Most of you have probably already seen this. It's also got the website there if you wanted to register for other businesses, other sessions. And then the next slide is all of the sponsors for the event. So you can just take a quick look at who sponsored the whole Do It in Durham week. And there we go. Here's my session. So I'm just going to give a tiny little spiel about myself. I'm going to keep it to a minimum because I like to talk. So I'm going to try and be as quick as possible. So my name's Samantha Léger. I'm the owner of SJ's Auto Spa, which is a mobile detailing company in Durham region. And I started my company in 2021 during COVID. A lot of us, we lost our jobs or didn't have jobs. So I know a lot of small business owners started during COVID. I was one of them. Within the first few months, I was full-time doing this, and it has grown over the past 4 years, and we just completed our fourth year of full business. I have currently 3 employees, and we're looking to just grow as we proceed in the future. I also took small business and entrepreneurship at Durham College, so not only do I have actual physical experience, I have actual experience being a business owner, but I also have educational background and I've learned from professors and mentors in the business field. So how to grow your service-based business. I've broken it down into like 10 steps. They aren't necessarily in an order. They're just 10 ways that you can grow your business. The first three are kind of in a specific order. So the first point I want to talk about is define what success means to you. So before you grow, you need to define what you want to grow to, where you want to stop in your growth, because not everybody wants to be a multimillionaire scouring the world with their business. Some people like being a mom and pop shop, they like being local, they like what they do, and they want to keep it just to supporting themselves, their families, and possibly their employees. So you need to define what success means to you. I'm kind of in between the I run it myself, all by myself, and the I'm kind of a little bit hands off and I can let my employees do it. I'm somewhere in between that in my personal growth journey. I'm pretty comfortable where I am. There's room for a little bit of growth, but I'm pretty happy with where I am right now. If your business is, let's say, part-time, and you want to go full time and you just want to support you and your family and your success, that's great on your journey. But before you start your growth, you need to define where you want to go in this. So that puts us on to point two. So point two is, are you capable of growing? And if you're not, what do you need to do in order to be able to grow? So what I mean by that is, are you at your max? Are you at capacity? Are you busy all the time and you don't have room for more clients with where you're at right now? If that's the case, then you need to identify what you need in order to be able to grow. If you're at like the point where you do have room to grow, you want more clients and you're comfortable adding more work onto yourself, then great. But if you're not, like how I found myself within the first few months, you'll soon realize either I need to add a location, I need to add employees because I can only do so much in so little time. And I needed to add a work truck, a fully fixtured work truck because I'm fully mobile. So you kind of need to define what you need in order to be able to grow. Because some people are in the starting phases and they're just wanting to grow and they have the time, they have the efforts that they are able to put towards the growth. But if you're finding yourself, oh, I'm burnt out, I'm tired, I'm expensed, you can't grow until you figure out how you're going to grow. Because growth is great. Like having more business than you can handle is a great problem to have. But you need to realize at some point, I can't do this all with how I'm doing it right now. I need to either hire somebody, or maybe there's a lot of AI tools out there that now that can help you with answering calls, answering texts, answering messages, whatever you need to do so that you can grow. You need to do that before you grow. Because I didn't, and I ended up overbooking myself, burning myself out, which is what a lot of small business owners find themselves doing. And we want to avoid that as much as possible. All right, so plan for growth. So once you've defined how you want to grow, and you've seen, can I grow, or what I need to do to be able to grow? Um, Now you need to plan for that growth. You need to set up your company for that growth. For example, if you're in the starting out phases and you aren't yet legally required to charge HST or whatever that may be, and now this growth is going to put you in that position where now I need to start charging that, you got to get your HST number. Whatever it takes to reach your growth, you need to plan your company around that journey. For example, in the next year, we're looking to we're looking to upgrade our commercial fleet. So we do a lot of commercial work, and this past year, our commercial clients have grown exponentially. And we kind of need to split up our team. So we have two vehicles on the road. So I'm planning over the winter, because we are a seasonal business, to add a second vehicle on the road so that when we do hit our growth with our commercial clients next year and we do hit that milestone, we're already prepared. So we're planning ahead of time for the growth. We're setting up everything we need in place to plan for that growth. Because, like I said, there is the possibility that you don't plan and you do have the growth, but then you will find yourself struggling. You'll find yourself burnt out. A lot of small business owners are people pleasers as well. So they won't turn down work, even if it means working 75 hours a week. So if you can plan to be busy, expect the best, plan to be busy, it'll streamline the process a lot better for you. And we want to make the process a lot easier for you. Most of us are already existing business owners, right? So this is very straightforward. A lot of us know about that. It's defining your target market and then marketing to them directly. So most of us have a specific target market that we're aiming to gain clients in. For me and a lot of the automotive type service businesses, we're kind of like whoever has a car basically will take as clients, but there are ways to separate your target markets. For example, my millennial clients, I get a lot of them through Instagram. It's something that they use. So I may have the same ads out there, but I to get my millennial clients, I use Instagram. To get maybe my a little bit older clients, I use Facebook. And then I have a lot of senior clients, and a lot of them still, I don't want to generalize, but a lot of them still to this day are kind of, they want physical paper, they like flyers, they like talking to you. So if I have a senior client, I say to them, hey, if any of your friends are interested, here's a flyer that you can give them. So you can have the same marketing, but if you have different age segments or different demographics, you just tweak it so that you can get those clients, because there are a lot of service-based businesses out there that don't really necessarily have a specific market. Like it's not this age group and this demographic and this it's pretty general for a lot of us, right? So it's kind of just where you're gearing your marketing towards. But that's all pretty straightforward. Like I said, a lot of us already know most of this stuff, but I wanted to touch on it in case anybody hadn't. Okay, so growths through networking. So a lot of business growth happens through networking, whether that is actually networking events or attending, your board of trade or your chamber of commerce, or if it's actually growing through sometimes your network of clients, for example. So for me, most of my business comes from word of mouth. It comes through my clients. It comes through the network that I'm building within my business. A lot of my commercial clients, as much as I try to, sell myself to my commercial clients, a lot of my commercial clients come to me because their companies they deal with have dealt with me. So there's different ways to go about networking, but it is very important to network, because in today's day and age, when a lot of marketing is done through social media, you got to stand out somehow. And sometimes standing out is getting out there, getting in front of people's face, selling yourself as a business, getting to know people, building that relationship. A lot of people will hire you doesn't matter what service you have. A lot of people hire you if they've met you, if they've talked to you, if they know you. For example, there was a BACD networking event that I attended, I think it was around 4 months ago. And from that one single event, I sent her this out because it was a very successful event for me. From this one single event, I made 3 clients who have now I see regularly at other networking events and Chamber of Commerce meetings, Board of Trades, etc. So I've kind of expanded my network to knowing other small business owners. I met an organization called the Youth Village, which is an organization that helps marginalized youth with starting and growing their small businesses. And I became a speaker at one of their events already. And I also met, because this is another neat thing about networking, I met a young gentleman who's in college who has a website building business that he started through the BACD mentoring program through the summer. And he is now rebuilding my website. So networking is great in the fact that you're not just trying to grow your business, but everybody, when you go to networking events, is networking with each other. So you may find people that you need their services in turn to help you grow your business, and they need your services. So it's a really good way to just get out there and grow your business. And it also adds confidence to you. Talking about your business makes you more confident when you actually go and in the real business world and actually execute your business. So the more you talk about it, the more you get out there, the more you feel comfortable with talking about your business to other people, the more confident you feel with growth, really, is what I've found in my personal experience. So I really highly recommend just researching. The BACD has lots of networking events throughout the year that you can register for, and they're very easy to just go into. Everybody's very open and it can be daunting your first time, but if you haven't been to a networking event, I highly recommend you go to a networking event. It'll just boost your confidence. If that's all it does is boost your confidence, it will help significantly with your growth. All right, so that moves us on to point 6. I'm trying to talk as fast as I can so we can leave time for questions, but I'm trying to address everything I want to say. So, point 6. So, what makes you, there we've highlighted and underlined and bolded the you again, stand out against competitors. So, I think a lot of the times with small businesses, I know I found myself guilty of this too. We spend so much time wondering what our competitors are doing and comparing ourselves to our competitors. And I don't think we should have blinders on. I don't think we should have tunnel vision. We should definitely be aware of who our competitors are. But I think, and it gets to the point where we start to feel self-doubt about ourselves, we've put way too much effort into what our competitors are doing. Every single business owner is unique in what they do. They're unique people. So you need to find out what makes you unique and use it to your advantage. For example, I am in a mostly male dominated industry. It's changing a little bit, but it's still mostly male dominated. And I'm a mother of 3 boys. So I do market a lot to other parents and mostly, especially mothers. And I create a lot of marketing to other women so that they feel comfortable with me coming to their house. They feel comfortable and not embarrassed about the mess their children make. Because if you guys don't have kids, let me tell you, kids are messy. And sometimes it can feel like embarrassing to show people, especially when in their vehicles, when you're kind of trapped and the mess goes everywhere. So I used that to my advantage. I don't want to say I used it, but I did. Um, so when I made an ad where I actually showed my vehicle because like I said, I'm a mom of 3 boys, 5 and under, and I have my own work truck. So this is my personal vehicle that I drive my kids around all the time. I'm a baseball coach, I'm a business owner full time. So I showed my car and the disaster it turned into. And I showed myself detailing it and I spun the angle of, look, this is what my car looks like. You have nothing to be embarrassed about. Like, I'm not going to upcharge you because your kids are a little messy. Like, I used what makes me unique in my business and I tried to, work that angle, right? So I think everybody is unique in who they are as people. And if you let that show in your business, you don't have to do what the competitors are doing. So many people in businesses try as far, especially when it comes to social media marketing, they try to be the same. And it if you have 10 people doing the same thing, it just becomes a random choice. Like people are going to say, okay, I'll choose this one because they all look the same to me. So do something different. Try to stand out, try to be different because potential clients, they're going to want your story. They're going to want to know why they want you to hire them, not just some flashy marketing. They want to know who they're hiring and who to trust. Because when it comes to service-based business, it's all about trust, right? Because you're providing a service to them. There's a certain amount of vulnerability in service-based businesses. They are trusting you to do a service for them. No matter what it is, there's small choices and then there's big choices, right? But it comes down to a certain level of trust somebody has when acquiring a service. So try to let your voice speak out when you to market yourself. All right, now on to the next point. So this point's kind of very vague and it can be different, like depending on your business, it can be modeled in different ways, but create value for your clients. And there's nothing wrong with deals and promotions to try and pull clients in, depending on your business. But I like to add value to our clients after the job's done. They've hired you, you came, you did the job, they love the job. Okay, what else can you provide for your clients? So for me, this year, I came out with a referral program. So if somebody referred 5 people and they all got their cars detailed, um, then that client would receive a voucher for a free detail that they can either keep or give to somebody else. And that was like just an extra, thank you for your business. Here's what I want to provide you with, and hope to see you again, sort of deal, trying to keep them in the door while also growing the business. Now, moving forward, next year I have it in the works and the plans that I'm just going to get, custom air fresheners with my logo on it. So just that extra little bit at the end that kind of, hooks the client in and keeps them with your business. They've already supported your business and they're happy with the results. They like the service you provided. Why are we going to try and keep them be our client sort of deal? All right, so that pulls us to point 8. So this is a really important point. So build connections with your clients. No matter what service-based business you have, there is a certain level of building a connection with your clients. So a lot of my clients, I have about I want to say 200 to 250. It varies per year in case clients have moved or, you know, got new vehicles, but around 200 to 250 clients a year that I see every single year. And then the other clients I've done probably upwards of 2,000 clients I've had since we started. Some of those clients have just fallen off the earth because I didn't necessarily build that connection with them. Sometimes you don't have the time, sometimes whatever may happen. But the clients that I have had year after year, I've noticed are the clients that I have built relationships with. I have clients who are, the next time I see them, oh, how is your mother doing? Just those simple things you remember doing. I've had 2 children since starting my business, and like I've been pregnant and had 2 kids since starting my business, and I've had some of my clients, near the end of my pregnancy, oh, how are you doing? Has the baby come yet? You build those connections with your clients, and they will be your clients for the length of your business. I have clients I go to every few weeks, every few months, every year, and there's a saying that says your client will become a friend faster than your friend will become a client. So it is important to foster those relationships with your clients because those could be very long-lasting connections. And the way you grow your business is not by trying to get as many clients as you can, it's by trying to get quality clients. And the quality clients are the people that you make relationships with. So I could go on and on about building connections with clients and how to do it, but for the sake of time, I'm going to move on. Okay, so point 9. This is a big one because I think a lot of times when you're a small business owner, you go one of 2 ways. So ask clients for feedback. You're either super critical of yourself and you're like, this is terrible, like I need to fix this, I need to do this, and nothing's working properly. And then there's, oh my God, I do such a great job. My clients are so happy with it. There's nothing I can do that's better. But sometimes if you just ask your clients, what did I do really good? What do you think in the future you would be happy to see me be doing? What other services should I be offering? That sort of deal, just like to ask your clients, because your business is nothing without your customers, right? So if you ask your customers what they would like to see you do and what you do really well, what you shouldn't change, what you should change, getting that feedback is going to help you grow. It's going to propel you into growth because it's going to change the way your business runs. You need to be very adaptable when you're a small business owner, and it can be hard to hear constructive criticism. I've had it quite a few times in my business, and sometimes, you have to go back and fix something that the customer wasn't happy with. But as long as you keep that critique, oh, my windshield had a little bit of a streak on it. Okay, no problem. So maybe we need to see if there's other products we can use, or maybe our towels they need to be thrown out. We need new microfibers, whatever it may be. Take the constructive criticism, because I'd rather have someone be like, I'm really happy with the service, but maybe next time you could do this so that I can grow, rather than, oh, it was great, everything was 100% perfect, because not every client is going to think you're 100% perfect. So the most feedback you can get is always the best. All right, so we're getting close to the end, so we can have questions if there's any. So, all right, so this is one of the most important points. It's why I left it to last, is know your brand and represent it proudly. So I have personally found in my small business journey that when I first started, I just needed, to be honest, when I first started my business, I just needed money. We were all in that situation with COVID. Some of us lost jobs, and I have a child to feed and a roof to put over my head, and no, we aren't working, and I need to do something. So I didn't really put it out there. No one outside of my circle knew what I was doing. I wasn't necessarily expecting to grow as fast as I did. But when I did grow, and now that I see everything I've done, and now not only do I uh not only do I support myself, but my employees are supporting their families as well, is I proud. I'm proud, and I know what I do, and I know what I do is good, and I know my clients, and I'm proud of everything I've accomplished. And the more proud and confident you can be while showing your business and telling people about your business, the more people are going to want to know, oh yeah, can I know more about it? Because that's how you that's how you sell yourself, right? When you're a small business owner, you're not just selling yourself, you're selling your business. So if you can speak proudly, speak confidently, whether it's even just about yourself or about your brand, people are gonna want to be like, okay, wow, they got their stuff together. Like, I'm interested. So I think it's really important to just be proud of yourself, no matter where you are in your business, whether you're starting out, whether you're growing rapidly. Like, it is a big deal to own a business, and it is something to be proud of. Like, small businesses make up a large part of Canada's economy, and you should be proud that you've taken this step. It can be exhausting, it can be so much work, like, but it is worth it because you did something and you should be proud of that. So thank you so much for listening. And does anybody have any questions?
Samantha, thank you so much for sharing your journey and your knowledge of what you've gone through in your business. How many years have you been in your business now?
So we're seasonal. We just completed our 4th year.
Okay, good. What made you decide to get into this type of business?
So like I mentioned, I needed a job during COVID, but it wasn't just that. So I was an auto body repair technician, apprentice during COVID. But when there weren't cars on the road, there weren't cars needing to be fixed,
Right.
and a lot of us lost our jobs. There's still guys that haven't been able to find jobs since COVID in this field. So I needed to do something. Like, I couldn't just stay stagnant and not bring in an income. And I had been a detailer like when I was fresh out of high school, and I was like just researching, how do I make money? And one of the things that popped up was mobile detailing. And I had a car, I knew how to detail, and I went out and got some supplies. I put a ad out on Facebook Marketplace, and within, I want to say, 2 months, I was full time. Like, I was doing 70 hours a week, like
Wow.
into the, yeah.
Very,
So
Good. Thank you for sharing. And so you said you put your ad on Facebook Marketplace, and was it like literally that's what started the ball rolling? Somebody booked you, and then from there, someone, maybe one of their friends, or how did it go?
So within like honestly, within the first probably couple hours, I had already booked in like 6 clients. I know I back then a lot of the things were like people wanted their cars clean, like sanitized sort of thing. I see a question. I'll
Yeah, I
answer it
know.
in a
I was going to come to it right after you finish this one.
Okay. Um, so I know a lot of things people wanted their cars clean, people wanted everything clean and sanitized. So I was getting a lot of business during COVID.
Right. Okay.
But most of it was just through Facebook Marketplace. And then people honestly seeing you outside, like, "Ooh, what are you doing?" But
Okay.
it's grown into mostly word of mouth. Like, yeah, I get a lot of my business from social media, but it was people telling people with, like I said, when you build those connections and you build that layer of trust, it's not, oh, I got my car detailed. It's, oh my God, this girl came and did my car and she was so fabulous. And like, we talked about this and that. And yeah, that's what creates the referral. Not, oh, like most people don't say, oh, I got my car detailed sort of thing. They don't necessarily share that. So,
Yeah, yeah. Great. So Erica asked, you discussed word of mouth, but what other advertising have you tried, and what's worked and what hasn't worked for you?
okay. So Instagram, I'm going to be 100% honest, hasn't been a huge seller for me. I think a lot of the times it's mostly younger people that use Instagram, and my services are like they're fair priced for everybody, but a lot of people my age either don't see the value in having their vehicle detailed or let's say can't necessarily afford it. So like I have noticed that Instagram ads have not been worth it for my personal service business because most of the clients are a little bit older. I have used Instagram and gotten a few. Facebook has been the most rewarding form of marketing that I have done as far as like actual out there marketing.
Okay.
Um, so I did an ad in back in the summer. And it was, one of those kind of playing the thing that makes me stand out. I got my 5-year-old and my 2-year-old to basically put on the role of a detailer and a customer. So I filmed what an interaction would be like of me going to someone's door and interacting with them and cleaning their car. And my 5-year-old was the detailer. He detailed his, Power Wheels F-150, and my 2-year-old was like so happy with the job and gave him a bunch of $100 bills. And I got 25 clients from that ad, and that worked really well for me. And maybe some people might have seen that and been like, "Wow, that was kind of corny and cheesy, and it didn't quite fit." But I got quite a few clients from that, and 25 clients can turn into 100 clients, right? So that was what has worked best for me. It is very market specific to your business, what is actually going to work. But for me personally, of the older client range, like I would say probably 35 to like 50 area, um, Facebook has worked the best for me,
Okay,
like
good.
paid out.
Yeah, thank you. Ethan, you can unmute yourself. I know you said you had a few questions.
Yeah, sure. Once sorry, my dogs just started howling at the perfect time.
It's
They're
okay.
not
We
good now
already
though.
have quite a few fun things going on in this
Yeah,
session.
I guess so.
Okay, let's
But
head to
yes, so my first question was like I'm in a similar situation as in I'm a seasonal business. I do like window gutter cleaning, like more exterior surfaces, and then I am introducing some small stuff like snow removal, but that won't really be full time during the winter. But
Mhm.
so yeah, my question was, what do you do during the off season for work for you? And then also, what do you do to promote and grow your business for a better season next season during the off season? If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I understand completely what you mean. Okay, so luckily for me, during the winter, I try my best to allocate my funds so like financially I can afford to be off over the winter and not have to work. I know that doesn't work for everybody, but if you can try and get in those odd jobs with your business, it can open doors if there is stuff you can do over the winter, because that could actually provide you with growth you weren't even expecting.
Yeah,
I do have commercial clients that I do go to over the winter. It's very few and far between. So
same with me.
I'd say I probably do like 20% of my normal season, like my normal workload on the off season. Um, but as far as looking forward to the next season, I keep up with the social media. So, you know, I sell gift certificates for Christmas. I try and like remind people that I still exist,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So you're on the top of their head. Um, and another thing is when I end my season, I reach out if you have email lists or even if you've just built relationships with clients, I just, you know, reach out and be like, I'm just ending my season, just like thanking you or whatever. I send out holiday cards to the clients I'm really close with and just say thank you for a great season. Hope to see you next year. And then I usually keep a really close eye on the weather when it's coming up. I when I think I can start in the next 2 weeks, I send out notices, and then usually my first month is booked within then.
Yeah.
It's just trying to remind people that you're relevant, but also like with your business, like you said, you're adding services on like the snow removal and stuff. So that's great because you can do that during the winter. So that, like I said, that could be growth that you could be working full time. You don't know. We don't know, right? It's unpredictable. Um, but as long as you like kind of just don't let people forget you exist, sort of thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense.
Yeah. Did that answer your question?
No, yeah, I didn't have like a specific answer. Just looking for kind of like some insight or advice. Yeah, that's definitely good.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, just and keep that open line of contact. Like if anybody does contact you and they're like, "Can you do it right now?" Just be like, "I can't really do it because of weather, but I will let you know when I can." Because I've had that too. Will you come out when it's snowing? Like I want my car detailed. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it out in the snow. Like that's just a
Yeah.
preference, and my stuff will freeze and whatever. I don't have to deal with that. But I literally will say to them, I will let you know my as soon as I'm available. So I'll have those clients on standby. If there's a nice day in February, I'm back. Do you still need your car detailed?
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So, Samantha, I think you've definitely shared a mix of marketing methods. I honestly think there's no silver bullet. There's no like uncovered secret that most of us don't know that other people are using, right? From what I
Yeah.
understand, it's the same or similar methods. It is networking, it is word of mouth marketing. So, leaving a good impression on all the people you meet. It is a little bit of social media. It is going out and maybe doing some door knocking or some, cold calling. It's a mix of old and new methods to some degree, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's also like it can be business specific too, right? Like you got to kind of tailor it to your business. I know a lot of businesses where like some service-based businesses where they have a physical location and that's all they need because people will just like Google, oh, what's near me? And that's their marketing because if they pop up on Google, then people will show up. So it's kind of very specific, but as I mentioned, building the connections is the greatest. I'll use an example is I get my nails done every few weeks. I only go to the one person, right? Because I trust them. I've built that connection with them. So I don't want to go to somebody else because first of all, anxiety because I don't know somebody and but you've built that relationship, right? So that's a huge thing to me personally is that I just try and build the connections because people will talk. It will come up. Whatever your service is, it can come up to somebody when you're walking your dog. Oh yeah, like the dog got my car all messy. Oh really? Wow. Well, I know this great detailer and she came to my house and we like talked and she has a dog and she won't charge you extra because you have dog fur. So it's all about just building a relationship that somebody can remember to mention you when it comes up.
Yeah, very good point. Uh, I think for most businesses, unless you're very transactional, it's definitely relationships at the end of the day. Ethan's asked another question. How did you bring on your first employee? And I think maybe you're meaning, did you bring them on as a subcontractor or as a full-time employee? And do you have a plan on having sales reps? So that's a great question.
That's a good point. I would say probably for your business is very similar to mine. Subcontracting is probably the best way to go. Work isn't always guaranteed, and when you bring on full-time employees, there can be a bit of a headache with that when you're starting out. I am lucky enough that my business is fully family run, so I have family and friends as my employees. I did bring them all full time. I will warn you though, that can cause issues with governments as far as benefits and EI and stuff if you hire your family. So make sure your family knows ahead of time that that can cause issues when you're hired by family. Um, but I honestly, my it was COVID, right? In between jobs. My father was in between jobs. I brought him on and I brought on my husband's best friend. So I did put them as full-time employees, and that has worked for us. Um, I would suggest wherever possible, like I said, your business specific, subcontracting would probably be best. That way, like you don't have like the extra expenses like business employee insurance and all that stuff and all the extra regulatory things and going through payroll. So if they can just like write you like invoices and like you just take it like that sort of deal, that's what I would recommend personally. I'm having questions come in. And do I ever plan on having a sales rep? Honestly, so like I mentioned at the beginning, I don't know if you were there for it. I'm kind of comfortable with where we are as far as growth. We are looking to expand, but I'm looking more to kind of break up my team and expand more on vehicles and not necessarily like grow to be like a super like hands-off business owner and not an operator sort of deal. I like the work I do. I like going to the jobs, and I'm finding it easy enough to find the clients now. I also found out that uh I also found for me personally that it's not that I don't trust people, but I'm very picky with my quality, right? And I feel the larger you get, the harder it is to like manage quality. So I like where I am growth wise. I don't think I would need a sales rep. Like if you need one, maybe great. There are also a lot of there's a lot of tools coming out AI now that can kind of push your ads and like answer messages for you and like arrange things. Online booking portals, those are great. My website designer's doing that right now. So that can kind of eliminate like the frustration of somebody not getting a hold of you. And like that kind of sells itself. If somebody can just book you without actually having to like go through the ropes, that kind of sells your business for itself. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Agreed. Thank you. Great answer. I just want to add something about hiring subcontractors. The CRA knows if we are hiring somebody, they have the best forensics teams in the world, right? So just be very careful. There is, and I have an article on that on our website, there is uh, some questions that you have to go through. Who stands to make the most profit in the relationship? Whose tools are you using? Where are you working? How long are you working for that company? And so if it really looks like an employee, then you have to make sure that it is an employee and not a subcontractor. So just a word, it's your business, you run it the way you want to, but just look into that to make sure that you protect yourself, because you don't want to have to be on the hook for the federal source deductions and the EI and the CPP for both portions that haven't been paid. So just something to be very careful of. um some other questions came up as well. What inspired you? So Popeyes is asking, what inspired you to start your business, and where do you see your business in 5 years?
Okay, so like I had mentioned, it was just need. I think a lot
Yeah.
of small businesses sometimes come out of need. We don't always necessarily have the luxury of it being a passion project. Sometimes it's like no one's hiring me. I have a set of skills. I'm just going to put it out there because I need money, sort of deal. And that was me. I was really stressed. I had a son who was just over a year, and like I couldn't even put him in daycare or anything. Like everything was at home, so like my mom had him. So like it was very much I got to do something where I can kind of control my hours and I can kind of control everything that happens, sort of deal. So it was mostly out of need. I know like not
Yeah.
everybody is that lucky. Is that not everybody is in that boat. Like they're luckier and they get to kind of slowly grow it over a passion project. But it was necessity for me. Not that I don't love what I do. I love cars. I've been working on cars since I was 15 years old. But as far as the business starting was necessity. And where do I see your business in the next 5 years? So be it that we're going into our fifth year, like I said, I'm very happy with where we're at. But as far as like future, so my husband's a licensed mechanic and we are looking to expand so that we have like a full functioning shop, like a auto sales service detailing. That's where I look to grow in the future. The economy's not looking great as far as overhead. That's what's great about being mobile. I don't have the cost of rent and overhead at the moment. So that's honestly just, it's very kind of touch and go as far as where I actually see that going. But that would be the goal, is to have a fully functioning shop, hopefully within the next 5 years.
Awesome. And then Pranav asked, are there any, I know you're having your website built, but is there a CRM tool that you're using for managing your customer data and information and emails and all of that sort of stuff?
So, like I said, personally, I don't know if I actually mentioned that actually. I'm kind of a micromanager, so I personally stress myself out and I manage everything myself. And I haven't found something yet myself that I have used. But what's great if you go to these networking events, a lot of these guys are really tech savvy business owners, and a lot of them have given me recommendations. I just haven't been comfortable enough to try them out yet, but I know they exist. That's why I suggest them. So yeah, like definitely try, like I said, networking events can bring you a lot more. And it's not necessarily even just like, oh, this person became my client. This person just gave me advice, and this advice turned my whole business around. So do your research, but like ask other business owners. Obviously, I can't answer that question for you, but ask other business owners what they're doing. Um, I know that a lot of the social media platforms have like their like messages that like when somebody messages you, they automatically send, but none of them are really that great. They're kind of all like really, I don't know, kind of bland that they send. So I don't use that personally, but there are a lot of tools out there. And if you know anybody who has like a digital marketing business or website design, they know all about that. Like I said, my website person, if anybody wants to contact me, I can give you their information. My contact is there. But
Yeah.
my website guy, he's redoing my whole like digital marketing and making sure that I stand out, because I am like technologically impaired and I don't actually know how to do that.
Good. It's good to know, right? It's good to know, like, what are your strengths? What do you do well? And where do you need help, right?
Yeah.
Ethan, you asked an article of all the Durham region networking events. So in this article that I've listed here, I've listed just about every single organization that offers something around networking online and in person. So have a look at that article. It's totally about that. Um, and then, of course, if you just start to Google, if you look on Eventbrite, if you go to the Chambers of Commerce, Boards of Trade, you will find information locally as well. But if you are stuck, please reach out to me, bacd.ca. We can definitely help you. Samantha also has her information here online on the screen. So if anybody wants to get in touch with Samantha directly, you are welcome to do that, of course. And otherwise, I just want to say thank you to you, Samantha, for sharing from the heart, showing everybody really what, how you made it happen for yourself. So either, yes, very good point you made about it might not be a passion project, but it was a necessity of what you had to do. And that is so true. So many of us, it's not that we're in love with the business or the business idea, but we're in love with the idea of making money, working for ourselves, having that flexibility, whatever that may be for you, right? But it's that opportunity to be your own boss and finding the avenue that makes that happen. So I just want to thank everybody for going through this with us. Sorry about the technical issues we had on screen. Again, there's always someone in one of these presentations that does something different to the rest of us. And, sometimes you can't control that. So I want to say thank you, Samantha. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And I hope to see you through the rest of the week. So bye, everyone. Have a good afternoon. Thank you, Samantha, again. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.